आगे ऑन है. Okay. Good morning. So we shall proceed with art and architecture today. Music, painting, we all see with great length. So architecture. We'll study architecture in two phases. The first phase will cover the ancient and the early medieval period. Early medieval period, including regional architecture. Regional architecture. And the second phase, we will cover the Indo-Islamic architecture. Indo-Islamic. So Indo-Islamic architecture, that is Delhi Sultanate, and plus Mughal. So first phase, we will go for the ancient and early medieval period, including regional architecture. Including regional architecture. And then Indo-Islamic will go for the Delhi Sultanate plus Mughal. Delhi Sultanate and Mughal. So ancient and early medieval architecture. So architecture and sculpture is a different thing. Architecture and sculpture as a different thing. Architecture involved with elaborate mathematical and geometrical and geometrical representation. Elaborate mathematical and geometrical representation. No mathematics measurement was applied. No application of mathematics and the measurement was applied. So architecture that involved with elaborate mathematics and geometrical presentation, elaborate mathematical and geometrical presentation, and here we don't have any mathematics or the measurement that is required. Architecture involved with combination of materials, combination of materials like stones, bricks, woods, metal, combination of materials. Sculpture generally single piece, single stone or metal. Single stone or metal. single stone or metal. Stones, bricks, woods, metal, and here we have the single stone or metal. Here we have perfect anatomy. Everything in the proportion, perfect anatomy. If you have made the huge head corresponding to your legs, hands, perfect anatomy. Here anatomy is symbolic. Symbolic anatomy. So we have the differences between architecture and sculpture. And architecture we can see, we will take the first. So architecture, elaborate mathematics and geometrical things required. We have combination of materials, stones, bricks, woods, metal, all used. Here single or stone or the metal used. Single stone or the single metal. LY also. Piece of metals. Piece of metals. So elaborate. So architecture in Indus Valley civilization, we have studied the first pattern of architecture, that is town planning. Town planning of Indus Valley civilization. And during the course of study, we have already seen that how elaborate feature was there. So first of all, the architecture was made with the perfect topography. So land topography should be like this. This is the priority of the Indus Valley civilization. And here there was citadel, a fortified area, citadel. And here we have the lower town. Lower town. So citadel was fortified. And this is the topography they normally select. This is called citadel with fortification, citadel and lower town. Citadel. Which is fortified. And here we have the lower town. Elaborate arrangement was made for the construction. Citadel was fortified. So lower town. Fortified area. So lower town. There were many buildings inside. presenting a very high level of accuracy, architectural beauty, many buildings. For example, let me share. So there were many buildings like Great Bath, Great Granary, Dockyard, all was presented. Great Bath, Great Granary, Dockyard, all were presented in a very elaborate manner. So the architecture of Indus Valley civilization was also very elaborately designed. Secondly, we have the Mauryan architecture. Mauryan architecture, we have the religious architecture and secular architecture. Religious architecture like stupas and caves, stupas and the cave of the Mauryans. And secular architecture, it was palace of Pataliputra. Palace of Pataliputra. Palace of Pataliputra. There's some problem with the So the classification of the Maurya architecture, we have the religious and the secular architecture. Palace of Patliputra, Palace of Patliputra. There was 80-pillared hall in Patliputra, 80-pillared hall. This description was given by Megasthenes. Megasthenes Indica was a very important description about the palace of Patliputra. Stupa Chaityan Bihar. It is said that Ashoka had constructed 84,000 stupa. The largest stupa was the Sanchi Stupa. Sanchi Stupa. The difference between Stupa Chaityan Bihar stupa where there was a relics of Gautam Buddha, relics of Gautam Buddha was placed. Anything that is related to the Gautam Buddha, relics of Gautam Buddha. Buddha's hair, tooth, cloth, utensils, and it is. Chet is a place of worship. Place of worship. And Bihar, that is a residential place of monks. Residential place of monks. Residential place of monks. And then we have religious monuments. We have found many temples there. Temple of Jhandial, Takshila. Sankarshan Temple at Nagari, Rajasthan. And Temple of Besnagar, Madhya Pradesh, and Temple of Nagarjun Konda, Andhra Pradesh. So we have found some of the dedicated temples of the Mauryans. Among the religious monuments, the caves. Ashoka and his grandson Dasrath. Ashoka and his grandson Dasrath constructed 3 caves in Barabar and Nagarjuni hills. In Barabar and Nagarjuni hills. Constructed 3 caves in Barabar and Nagarjuni hills. This is a rock cut cave in which 3 was less decorated, only 1 was decorated. So 3 was undecorated and so Ashoka and his grandson Dasrath had donated this cave in Barabar and Nagarjuni hills. So 3 caves are having high decoration. Only Lomesh Rishi cave is not so decorated. There was a polished roof and walls, absence of ornamentations. So Lomesh Rishi cave, it was not so polished. So Mauryans were the pioneer of rock cut cave architecture. So this is the beginning of the architectural system. Then cave architecture, we have the beautiful description of Ajanta. There are 29 caves in Ajanta. 29 caves in Ajanta. So out of the 29 caves, 25 are Bihar and 4 are Chaitya. Bihar, residential place of the monks. So wherever we will have a Bihar, there will be a Chaitya. Not in equal number, because place of worship is obviously will be less compared to the place of residence. So there are. So in Ajanta we have the 29 caves, out of which 25 were used as Bihar and 4 as a Chaitya. So 25 caves were in Bihar. Don't remember so much of the fact, but this fact is very important, that patronized initially by Satvahanas and later by Bakatakas. So Satvahanas and Bakatakas, they patronized the caves of cave number 26 is a very big, and you have to remember that in cave number 6 there are variety of the image of Gautam Buddha was placed, like Mahaparinirvan images, means when the Buddha was about to die, this beautiful presentation was there in the cave number 26. Cave number 26. So 25 were used as Bihar and 4 as Chaitya. Chat, you can see this is a huge pillared hall. You can watch, there are so many pillars here, so many pillars, and there is a stupa. But Mahayan Chaitya, we have the statue also. So difference between the Chaitya used by Hinian, otherwise later on when both was mixed, like look, this is a stupa and here is the statue also. So this Chaitya was used by both Hinian and Mahayan. Initially there was a difference, but later on there was no difference between Hinian and Mahayan. There was no difference between Hinian and Mahayan. These facts show to Ajanta, then Ellora. Ellora, what is the beauty of the Ellora cave? That it had all three religions, Buddhist, Jaina, and Brahman religion. All three were there. So out of the 32 caves, there are distribution that there is a Buddhist cave, Brahmanical cave and Jain cave. Go for the selective informations. It has confluence of many styles at one place. This is not Aurangabad, Maharashtra. And Bihar was three-tier. Look at the three stories Bihar. All was built by cutting the stones. All was used by cutting the stones. And there are three stages, three images of the Bihar. Cave number 12. All the Bodhisattvas, image of Tara. Tara is the spouse of Ablikiteshwar, the wife of Ablikiteshwar. So Ellora. Only these 2-3 points you remember. All three religions. Ajanta only Buddhist. Ellora all three religions. So Bihar's are three stories. Ablakiteshwar, Tara was presented there. Ellora, then we have Elephanta cave. Elephanta cave is also a Sebite cave, completely Sebite cave. We have Sundar Murti, Mahesh Murti, Ravan Kailash. You'll find the structure there. The Ravan is shaking the Kailash mountain and asking the Lord Shiva to come out because he was desperate to meet him. Nataraj Shiva was also presented. So Elephanta cave is totally Sebite cave. There is no Buddhist image there. Or Ravan Kailash, Nataraj Shiva. So Rashtrakuta built that in the Konkan island. The Rashtrakuta had built in the 8th century. So we have the statue, a sculpture of Nataraj. Ravan is shaking the Kailash mountain and asking Shiva to come out. So Elephanta cave is entirely a Sebite cave. such a cave structure is there. So Ajanta, Ellora, Elephanta. Ajanta, totally Buddhist. Ellora, we have all the three religions. And Elephanta is totally Sabaite cave. So out of that, there are many like we have Udaygiri and Khandagiri. So Udaygiri Khandagiri, that was patronized by King Kharvel of Orissa. King Kharvel, the great patron of Jaina religion, King Kharvel. And there are two huge caves called Rani Gumpha and the Hathi Gumpha cave. So Rani Gumpha cave is this Udaygiri and Khandagiri cave in Orissa. There is a Jaina Bihar. Jaina Bihar. Or Rani Gumpha cave and Hathi Gumpha cave. Plain interior walls. One important facts about the Karle, there was a question that which of the following chaitya was a circular chaitya. So look at the Karle chaitya. This is a vaulted roof, barrel shape and vaulted roof. This is circular chaitya. This is the only chaitya which had the example of like this. This is the only chaitya. Had the example like this, circular, vaulted roof. All the chaitya was having some degree of flat roof, but this is a vaulted circular. Karle in the Western Ghat, But Chet is beautifully designed in a vaulted roof. So Hathi Gumpha caves in Udayagiri Hills. So these are the some important caves: Ajanta, Ellora, Elephanta, Udayagiri Khandagiri, and the Karli caves. So in fact, Mauryans were pioneer of cave architecture, and then Mauryans had constructed 3 ornamented cave and 1 is a plain cave in the Barabar and Nagarjuna hills. Now thereafter the cave became very prominent part of the religious theme in the form of Bihar, in the form of Chaitya, in the form of Brahminical architecture. So after this cave architecture, we have the beginning of temple construction. The temple construction, the temple architecture. So normally it is said that the age of Gupta is the most important period for the temple architecture. So during the time of Gupta period, many temples in entire India you can see that is built of stone and the bricks. So that was the earliest example of the temple construction, except that some structure we found in the Mauryan times. But the real shape and size of the temple construction that developed during the time of Gupta. So Gupta were the pioneers of this temple construction. So during the Gupta period, that is a 300 to 600 300 to 600 AD represents an important stage in the history of Indian temple and architecture. The early stones temple. The sphere of cultural development, the period represents an important stage in the history of Indian temple and architecture. That is the reason why Gupta period is called classical age. Not only because of the literature, science and technology, but altogether it had a great effort in development of temples. So early stone temples we have found from these places. So temples made up of stone and temples made up of bricks. Tigaba is a place in MP. We have the Vishnu temple, Shiva temple at Bhumra, Parvati temple at Nachana Kuthar, Buddhist shrines at Sanchi. Bhitargaon temple Kanpur, it's almost a flat roof temple. Flat roof. Bhitargaon temple of Kanpur is considered as the earliest temple built during the Gupta period. Earliest temple built during the Gupta period. Bhitargaon temple Kanpur, the earliest temple built during the Gupta period. So stone built, we have the Vishnu temple, Shiva temple, Parvati temple and Buddhist shrines at Sanchi. And bricks temples, in which the Bhitargaon temple is the earliest temple. Flat roof. Made up of bricks. So the earliest temple. So look at the structure of temple. A structure of temple. Normally in northern India, we have this style of temple called Nagar style. There are three styles of temple. In Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Andhra, we have with Tamil Nadu, Andhra, and Kerala, we have Dravid style. Dravid style. In Maharashtra and Karnataka, and Karnataka, there is Besar style. And then in the northern India entirely to Orissa, we have Nagar style. Nagar style. So temple style of Nagar style Maharashtra plus Karnataka, we have Besar. And Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Kerala, we find the Dravid school of architecture. And entire northern India, Orissa to Gujarat, Nagar style. So in the construction of Nagar style, let us construct the temple first. There is a huge platform, raised platform. Before beginning the construction, this is called Adhisthan. Or Pitha. Adhisthan or Pitha. So this is called Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha. This is called Shikhar. This is called Amalka. And this is called Kalas. Kalas. There are multiple constructions here, This is called Uru Shikhar. Uru Shikhar. There is a gap here, Antaral. And thereafter, there is a huge mandap. It's called Mahamandap. Thereafter, certain slightly lesser mandap. It's called Ardha Mandap. And that is called Mandap. So three structure you can see here. Mahamandap, Ardha Mandap and Mandap. This is called Antaral. There is a raised area called Jagati. So this is a basic feature of the Mahayana, of the Nagar style. The entire temple premises was located at, it's like this only. So if primarily you understood this, then I am showing you the exact feature of Nagar style. This is the exact figure of Nagar style. Exact figure. Garbhagriha, Amalka, Kalas, Shikhar, Uru Shikhar, Antaral, this is a gap, huge gap, Antaral, Mahamandap, Mandap, Ardha Mandap, Pradakshinapath, Jagati and Adhisthan. This is the feature. Can you able to see that? This is a small photo. It could not be made long. But this is the main structure. Garbhagriha inside, Kalas, Amalka, Shikhar, Uru Shikhar, Antaral, Mahamandap, Mandap, Ardha Mandap. We have a Pradakshina Path here, Jagati and Adhisthan. This is the easy description of Mahayan, Maha temples, So presence of, so some of the features of Nagar style. Look at some of the important features of Nagar style, collectively Nagar style. This is the style of temple construction in the northern India, known as Nagar, that entirely from Gujarat to Odisha. The style of temple construction we call it is a Nagar style. Gujarat and Odisha, the style of temple construction is called Nagar style. So entire temple was built on a platform with steps leading to it called Adhisthan or Pitha. Adhisthan or Pitha. Look at the condition of this is Sikhar, Amalka, and then Kalas. So Adhisthan or Pitha. So raised platform was built and also it does not usually have elaborate boundary walls or gateways. Above Garbhagriha there is a Sikhar. And this small, this is called Uru Sikhar. This small part is called Uru Sikhar. Further, it does not usually have elaborate boundary walls. Well, the earliest temple had just one tower, Sikhar. Later temples had several. The Garbhagriha is always located directly under the tallest tower. Garbhagriha, the main deity complex. Main deity complex. This side we have Antral, then Mahamandap, then Mandap, Ardhamandap. Sometimes Mandap and Ardhamandap is exchanged, the location wise. Then some of the more features, like outside the Garbhagriha image, the river goddess Ganga and Yamuna was placed. So just in front of the Garbhagriha, the goddess Ganga and Yamuna was placed. Panchayatan style means the main temple complex along with the 4 subsidiary temples. It's called Panchayatan style. Main temple complex along with the 4 subsidiary temples. Panchayatan style. 4 subsidiary shrines. We don't have any water tanks or the reservoir in the temple premises. No water tanks or the reservoirs can be seen in the temple premises. So this is a main temple complex. So there are three styles of Nagar. Nagar style of temple. We have 3 sub-schools. Sub-schools of the Nagar. One is called Orissa school. Second is Khajuraho school. And third is Solanki school. Chalukya. Chalukya. So Orissa school, Khajuraho school, and the Solanki school. This is the Nagar style. Orissa High School. So Orissa school, there are some exact example, like we have Sun Temple Konark, Jagannath Temple Puri, and then we have Bhubaneswar, the Lingaraj temple at Bhubaneswar. So in Orissa temple, you'll find that the outer wall is always decorated, but the inner wall, we find the plain wall there. So the Orissa school, let's see some of the examples of the Orissa school. You'll find in Orissa school, the exterior wall is lavishly decorated. Exterior wall is lavishly decorated with intricate carving, but interior walls are plain. There was no use of pillars or the iron girders were used instead of support the roof. This is called Rekha jewels, means the shikhar is curved inward. Curved inwards sharply. Mandaps were known as shikhars in Orissa school were known as Rekhapur. They were vertical roof. So this is called invert. Mandaps was called Jagmohan, particularly when this is Ardha Mandap, Mahamandap, this is Jagmohan. and temples were surrounded by boundary walls. This is a unique. We don't, in Nagar style in general, we don't have boundary walls, but in Odisha school, we have the boundary walls. Sun temple at Konark, Jagannath temple at Puri, and Lingaraj temple at Bhubaneswar. So three examples of the Orissa school: Sun temple at Konark, Jagannath temple at Puri, and Lingaraj temple at Bhubaneswar. So here the mandap is called Jagmohan. The Shikhar was highly decorated, and that shows connectivity to the sky. The god directly receive. How much tall is Shikhar? That much presentation is that connectivity with the terrestrial elements. Terrestrial elements. Not for beautification, but connectivity with the terrestrial element. It was said that. Then in Khajuraho school, you'll find only one change, that both the walls was lavishly decorated. Both sides are lavishly decorated. Both sides are lavishly decorated. Both sides of the wall is lavishly decorated. And there are a huge sculpture on the walls that was built in the Khajuraho style. So in Khajuraho style, look at the both interior and exterior walls are lavishly decorated with carving. The themes of the carving is that from the Kama Sutra of Vatsyayan. The themes of the sculpture were erotic and new inspiration from Vatsyayan Kama Sutra. Khajuraho school. Khajuraho temples was built by Chandelas. So example is Kandariya Mahadevi temple and the Lakshman temple at Khajuraho. These are the classic example. Temples were generally north and east facing. Temples on were Hindu as well as Jain religion. Panchayatin style temple making was followed. So difference only is that the erotic theme inspired from the Vatsa and Kam Sutra because of the beautiful carving, lavishly decorated at both sides, and three layered the mandap, ardha mandap, mahamandap, and temples. All the temples are the northeast facing. Kandariya Mahadevi temple, Lakshman temple at Khajuraho. In Madhya Pradesh, central part of India. Solanki school, that is there in the Gujarat. The one beautiful aspect is that the water tank is the feature of this school. That is actually exclusive feature of the Dravid school, but it's a water tank. Panchayatan style, that one main temple and the four subsidiary temples. This is the main temple complex. There are four small temples outside. There's a five. It's called Panchayatan style. So Solanki school, it is prevalent in the Gujarat region. The Chalukya ruler, they actually built that temple. It's called Solanki style. It is prevalent in the northwestern part of India, including Gujarat, Rajasthan. The Chalukya ruler, the Rajput Solanki, had built this temple. Had built this temple. So Sun temple was made in such a way that on equinox, the sun rays directly fall inside the shrine. The Modhera Sun temple, Gujarat. So there is a step well called Surikund, is the chief feature of the. So there is no big Sikhar or the Kalyan Mandapam in the Sun temple. But temple was lavishly decorated. Sandstone, black basalt, soft marble, all were used. So there is no Sikhar like that we see in the Orissa school or the Khajuraho school in the Gujarat region or the Rajasthan region. So Solanki school. So these three are the examples of the Nagar school of architecture. Nagar school of architecture. In the Dravid school, this is a Garbhagriha Suppose this is a Garbhagriha. Garbhagriha. And Biman, Garbhagriha. This is Kalyan Mandapam. Kalyan Mandapam. Entire temple premises was surrounded in a lofty wall. Huge wall was made, and there is a big gate inside. This is called Gopuram. Gopuram. So huge entrance, huge four walls surrounding the temples. So Gopuram, Kalyan Mandapam, Biman, Garbhagriha. So these are the four aspects of Dravid School of Architecture. Dravid School. First, that is Rajarajeshwar Temple. Built by Rajaraj first of Chola ruler. Rajaraj first. This is known as Brihadareshwar Temple as well. All the Chola temples was dedicated dedicated to Lord Shiva. So Rajarajeshwar temple or Biridareshwar temple. Lord Shiva, the name Biridareshwar. Then second we have Gangai Konda Cholapuram temple. Gangai Konda Cholapuram temple. This is built by Rajendra first. Rajendra first. So some important feature of the Dravida school is, this is the important feature. Gopuram, Kalyan Mandapam, Garbhagriha. Gopuram is entrance. The entrance is huge, known as Gopuram. Bimana in Tamil. Bimana in Tamil, Shikhar. Stepped pyramid that rises up geometrically rather than the curving shikhar of northern India. Kalyan Mandapam is assembly hall in front of the main deity complex. Kalyan Mandapam is assembly hall in terms of main deity complex, where ritual ceremony was performed. The shape of the main temple tower is known as Bimana in Tamil Nadu. Is like a stepped pyramid that rises up geometrically rather than the curving shikhar of North India. The North Indian idea of multiple shikhars rising together as a cluster was not popular in southern India. Not popular in southern India as riding shikhar, but it is a stepped pyramid. This is the difference between shikhar and the Biman. This is the difference between Shikhar and the Biman. So the tallest building, that is Rajarajeshwar temple and the Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple. This is built in the Dravida style. And then we have the Besar style. So Besar style is the mixed style of Nagar and the Drabir. Both combinedly is called Besar. So Besar style is combination of both Nagar and Dravid style. Both Nagar and the Dravidian school is called the Besar style. So generally the Biman Shikhar is curvilinear. Curvilinear Biman. This is a hybrid style of Nagar and Dravid. So there is a huge Biman and it's a curvilinear Biman. Curvilinear Biman. Open passageway. The pillars, doorways and ceilings were decorated with intricate carving. Three prominent dynasties who made Besar style of temples are, we have the Chalukya, both Badami and Kalyani both, Rashtrakuta and Hoysala temples. So three prominent dynasties who made Besar style of temples are Chalukya of Badami. I have given the example of Chalukya of Badami during the course of the ancient India. You can look at your notebook. The Aihole and Pattadakal, these two centers are the centers of the Aihole and Pattadakal. Aihole temple and then Pattadakal. There are two centers of the Chalukyas where we found the Besar style of architecture. Sun temples. Yes, your question is correct. We have discussed this Aihole and Pattadakal. In Rashtrakuta, we have the Ellora rock cut cave, Kailasnath temple at Ellora, Hoysala dynasty where the temples at Helbud and Belur. Influence of Nagar style is the curvilinear Shikhar. and square base of the Besar temple. So Nagar style is in the curvilinear shikhar and square base of the Besar temple. An influence of the style can be seen in carving and sculpture. Design of Biman, stepped shikhar of Besar temple. Stepped shikhar of Besar temple. So Kailash Nath temple at Ellora. In Aihole, we have Durga temple and then Hakimal Gudi temple in Karnataka. Hakimal Gudi temple. We have Jain temple of Meguti and then Ladkhan temple. Ladkhan temple. At Pattadakal, we have Kailash Nath temple and Pampanath temple. Kailash Nath temple and Pampanath temple. This is the temple of Pattadakal. Both are in Karnataka. And then Rashtrakuta, Kailash temple and Hoysaleshwar temple at Hellbeat. So these are the examples of Besar style. Hoysaleshwar temple at Hellbeat in Karnataka and then Kailash Nath temple at Ellora. So these are the examples of Pattadakal or the Aihole. Okay, then see you after the break. After 1 hour, we'll go for the Turkish Indo-Islamic architecture.